Welcome back. If you haven't watched part 1 of this, I recommend you watch this before you watch this one, because I'm about to continue the conversation I was having. So we were in the queue for Richard Dean Anderson. Got to the front. He was talking to Kevin for so long, getting advice from him. And then Saturday morning, he did the photo shoot. Then after the photo shoot, he was the last person to get the photo shoot because we were so late. Not our fault late, but yeah. And Kevin was sort of fidgety. We were sitting down because we needed a rest from all the standing queuing. And he said, "Wait a minute." And I was like, "All right, what are you doing?" And he ran off. He ran round. The photo section was here. We were sitting down here. He ran just over there. I was like, "What's he doing?" And when he came back, he was like, what he had done was he had spotted that Richard Dean Anderson was walking back to his area. He had 2 bodyguard people with him. And Richard said, he keeps recognising Kevin. And he's like, "Hey, Kevin, come here." He told him come here, he wanted to talk to Kevin. I don't know how to say this, but it turned out that Richard Dean Anderson wants to keep in touch with my friend. He's given him contact information. What the hell? And he came back and I was like, "Are you serious? Are you lying?" I mean, I believe him. I think it's true. I don't think he'd lie about something like that. What? That blows my mind. Somebody that's such a big deal wants to keep in touch with my friend and give him proper advice and perhaps network him. Wow. Because when we were at the desk, I noticed that he said he sees Kevin's passion, and I said, he hasn't got the networks. That's the problem. He's got everything but the people. After that, I mean, it wasn't even my success, but I felt really happy for him. I think it was about 4 or half 4 that we decided to call it a day on the Friday, and we went outside the sort of front of the building, which is where there is a Tesco. We went, and I was a bit worried because people were saying they sell out of it all food, but they hadn't at all. And we got a baguette, a nice fresh baguette, bought some cheese slices, loads of crisps, water, and just ate a lovely sandwich. I had to take some ibuprofen when I got back because I had a headache, so I recommend if you're going to be like that, where people get to you, to take some painkillers. Or maybe paracetamol for your achingness. I forgot to mention yesterday with John Carroll Lynch, somebody came up super close to us, long grey hair, looking like a rock star. And I realised it was Mark Boone from Sons of Anarchy. Not until afterwards. At first I was like, "Who is this?" And he went and he was talking to John just for a minute and shaking his hand. This is while I was sort of in the queue. And it blew my mind afterwards. What are you doing right here? If you're staying in a hotel, bring tea bags. I'm sure all the hotels will give you as many tea bags as you want, but we were in room 861 or something, as far as you can get. I asked for a faraway room because I wanted quiet, but I didn't think about bringing tea bags. There is a phone in the room, so presumably you can say, "Can you bring them up?" But that also means a member of staff has to come all the way to you, so it's up to you. And I think 7 o'clock is when we got up and had a look. The queue was around the building. I don't know how far it was around the building because we had a restricted view, but oh my good God. And we thought, right, it's fine. Some people will queue really early to see Benedict Cumberbatch because he's supposed to be the main big deal. He sold out pretty much instantly. But I think I was told on the forums that by about 9:15, the queue will be inside anyway, so that's fine. It got to, I think we went to have breakfast. Breakfast was nice. And then we checked out and we left the hotel, left our bags at the hotel for the day. They give you the tickets and they wrap it around the suitcase or whatever. And once we got there, the queue was still around the building, and we were worried now because he has a photo shoot booked with Richard Dean Anderson between 9:30 and 10:30 or something, and that was the only photo shoot in the day. But because I'd been told go a little bit later, not told what to do, but advised, I suppose. So we were panicking. What the fuck? Why is there such a queue still? And we joined right at the end. The end of the queue was past the train station. So we had to go, the queue is all around here, all around the building, all the way around to gate H. And that's where the entry was. And then, of course, there's still a bit in there. So if you have something going on in the morning, you might have to go early. The one thing I'll say about having to wait in this fucking queue, at least you're sort of surrounded by nice people and cool people. That's what I found. Whenever I've been in any sort of queue in this weekend, you might be having a conversation and then someone else will sort of overhear you and they'll just sort of join in, and to start talking to you too. It's really nice. I've spoken to lots and lots of really nice people. So if you're one of them, hi, thank you. We actually got in the building. Bags checked. Bags were really quick. That's when he said, nice tripod, right, go. Ticket, quick. Once we both got out there, I said, grab ticket. It was like relay. I grabbed his ticket, shoved it in my bag. Run, let's run up them stairs, go through. At least we knew the layout this time as well. We knew exactly where we were heading to get the photo shoot. He was the last one. He went in for his shoot. Everyone was queuing for the next person. They were like, and he showed his diamond pass, and they were like, right, quick, push right into the front of the queue, get in there. He was the last one, and apparently he said to him, you're late. And then after this is when when he, just think, right, he was late. We were absolutely right at the end, which we hadn't planned to do. If we hadn't been late, he wouldn't have got the contact information from him, because we wouldn't have been at the end when he's about to leave. Where, do you know what I mean? It's like the butterfly effect. So being late may cause huge future success for Kevin. It's bizarre. And after that, we felt a little bit more chilled out. I said, right, I think I should probably go to Stephen Yun now, because he's likely to get busy. He's one of the big ones, in my opinion. He is the biggest one. He's the best. So I had my diamond pass still, and we went to his... I can't remember if we went in or if we had to come back. But right, let's say I'm in his queue now. No photos in this one. So I just had... I bought on the Friday a Glen Funko. I actually wanted to buy one in advance, but I must have forgotten. Kevin was just waiting for me. I'm not allowed to film this, but I've got a lovely photo anyway. And then when I was eventually to the front, I started to get nervous again. I didn't start to cry, but I was just like really anxious and shaky. And once I got up to him, he's lovely. And it was worrying because yesterday the photo was so good and the experience was so good. You think, right, God, what if tomorrow he's an asshole or something, and or he doesn't care, or you know what I mean? You just worry a little bit. But he wasn't. He was just as you want him to be. And I asked him to sign it, and he did. It says Danny, and that's a heart. I saw it on a couple of other people's ones, so it's not Danny B, it's Danny Hart. And I wanted to talk to him a little bit. He's obviously really busy, so you can't just have a proper conversation. So I was like, I think I asked him what projects he's got coming up, and he looked like really excited. And he said, I've just done this thing called Okja, and I said, I've just seen it, I loved it. And he was like, he lit up when I said that, and I can't remember what he said after that. Like films coming out next year, I think he said. So I said, I'll look out for them. And I shook his hand. I was like, thank you so much. And he seemed super grateful, and I just went away with this really lovely memory. And I think after that, I can't remember, Saturday, it's worth knowing, is off the scale busy compared to the Friday. The Friday you could sort of, let's go have a sit down over there, let's go, you know. On Saturday you've got to go searching for somewhere to sit on the floor. Loads of people were in cosplay though, and there were so many impressive ones, but this was my favourite. And I'm really shy. There were several people I wanted a picture with. There was Dante from Dante's Inferno, which I didn't realise. The first time I saw him, I only saw him a little bit because it was so crowded. I saw the scythe, and it didn't click. But then once we were up on the second level, and I was looking down, and I saw him stopping, and I saw the cross. I was like, that's Dante! And it's genuinely really good cosplay. Okay, so if that was you, you're fucking cool. But I had to take a picture with the Daryl guy. It was so good. You can't really see his crossbow. He's got the crossbow. He's got the full deal. He looks great. And we were doing loads of things in between this, but I'll just try to tell you the big things. We then joined a queue for Pilou Asbake, who is Euron Greyjoy in Game of Thrones, but I know him from something else, so I had something to say. Oh my good God. Now, we were in the queue for ages. I think I hadn't predicted how busy he'd be, because the big episode, the big entrance boat episode had just... I don't even have the words, I'm that excited. I figured we needed a ticket for him, not just to be able to queue. However, the guy that was standing in front of us... What the fuck? My computer's going to sleep. So the guy that was in front of us in the queue for Pilou was... he started talking to us, like, because I was talking to Kevin, what do we do? There was no volunteer there handing out like the tickets. There wasn't any, and he wasn't there, so he had a photo shoot or was on lunch or something. But we wanted to start queuing because we knew it was going to get long. I thought I was queuing for a virtual ticket, but this guy said there's no staff. Apparently they're like short staffed or short volunteered for the day. So I was in the actual queue. And oh my god! And then he was. So I was super excited. I love Game of Thrones. It's like my second favourite show after The Walking Dead, I think. But I love it. Oh my good god, love it. So this is a big deal because he's a big deal at the moment. But I love him for other reasons. And I asked him to sign this. But while once it was my turn, I said to him, like, when I first saw you pop up in Game of Thrones, I was like, I recognise this guy. And he was like, yeah. And then I said, it's only like this season that I realised Eurovision. And he was like, yeah. And he started talking to me about Eurovision and telling me about that and saying that he was drunk and saying that he had to learn the Chinese and stuff. And look, I've got 5 screenshots here, I think. Watch. So you can see that he's genuinely talking to me. It looks like he's enjoying talking to me. I had such a pleasant experience talking to him. He's lovely. I went away and I said to Kevin, he's the sort of bloke that I would have been really good friends with in college. If we had been in college at the same time, we would have been really good friends. I felt that. I actually think it was just before this. I want to tell you about this, but I don't want to just be complaining. I had a photo shoot booked for the captain's chair, the green screen with Will Wheaton. And we went looking for it because we hadn't seen any signs for like the green screen room, and we were going to search and we were like looking around, okay, and then we sort of did a double take. Are you joking? Is that it? It wasn't even a room. It was out in the open, a piece of sheet like put up with all creases all over it. The captain's chair there, I recognised it then, and just like one light with this woman sort of bending down doing it like that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it'll be a nice experience anyway. And we sat around waiting. Once it got to the point, we started to queue. Everyone else looked like they were starting to queue, so we started to. And I said to Kevin, here, you can sort of film it from over there or something. He got told then that he's not allowed to film it. Will Wheaton came over. I sort of captured a little bit, but he wasn't allowed to film me getting the picture done. There are rumours about him that he really does not like touching people. And I thought they may have been exaggerated, but I don't think they are. The people in front of me going up to the queue, they put a hand up. First thing I was disappointed with was that he was sitting in the chair. I wanted to be the important person sitting in the captain's chair. I had my pose figured out. This was £56, so it wasn't cheap. And there was pretty much everything wrong with it. Everything. The lighting was crap. One of the worst things, I'm not even going to show you the picture, that's how bad it is. I've just tucked it away. The photo, she's so low down, it's looking up like this instead of nice shot. It's just this. I had my pose all sorted out, and eventually I was actually just standing there trying to smile, but you can actually see it in my face that I'm not happy. Once I was at the front of the queue, the volunteer said, right, no touching. I was like, what? Everyone in front of me had put their hand out to shake his hand, and he'd kind of gone and done that with them. He looked terrified to be there. And I was like, oh, but can't I do that at least like everybody else has been doing? He was like, And so I was walking forwards and I looked at him, hi. He didn't say anything at all. And I said, can I? And he went like, and really reluctantly did it like that. I don't know if it was because I was wearing a free hugs t-shirt, so he thought I was covered in people's germs or anything. 0 people offered me hugs. Not a single person. The only person I got hugs with, I will tell you later. The picture itself was also wrong. It was like, if I'm filming now and I'm here, well, what's the point of this space then? You need to sort of at least be centred. I thought it was going to be the captain's chair in the middle. Sorry, middle, middle of the photo. And he's sort of standing. I was going to ask him to sort of stand like a bodyguard or something. So yeah, the whole experience of that I didn't enjoy. I think it was after then that I went though to meet Pilu, so I was very happy after that. And then I had a photo shoot scheduled, which I was trying to plan for. I have tried to plan for all these other photos too, and I haven't done exactly what I planned to do, but that's fine. They said they've turned out good, but I thought this one is a big deal. Kevin Smith, who is one half of Jane Silent Bob, because I've got the sort of blonde hair, I've got the same colour hair. You can't see it now. I put dry shampoo in it. So I brought a hat with me to do, and I was planning on doing like something, I don't know, wasn't sure. So luckily I got in the queue and I was batch 7, so it was quite a wait. There was quite a big crowd and we were all trying to like, oh, who's this now? Anyone know? At least we were all sort of helping each other work out what the hell we were doing. And the lady that was in front of me, once we got to the front of the queue, we were both a little bit nervous. And I said to her, how should I pose? How do you think I should pose? She's like, I don't know. And she said, maybe you should do that or something. I was like, yeah, that's actually a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. I was just sort of going to stand a bit like a gangster. But then once I got to the front, and I actually said, I was like, hi. He was so nice. In the photo, you've got to do arm round, go. But he was really enthusiastic with people. He was being, even though there were hundreds of people, there must have been, there was a huge crowd waiting to get the pictures with him, and we were batch 7, so he must have done loads. You would think he'd be fed up by then, but he wasn't acting fed up at all. This may be one of the best pictures I've ever had. I asked him, if I'm Jay, how do you think I should pose? He's like, and I said, I've either got this or this, and he said, do that and put your tongue out. And I was like, okay. I love it. I love that picture so much. And I know, obviously, he's Silent Bob there, so he doesn't look like he's really doing, it doesn't look like he's saying anything, you know what I mean? But he was, and afterwards, I was like, thank you so much, and he gave me the biggest, crushing hug, like proper, I think something cracked, it was such a big hug. And I really loved that I got to meet him, it was so cool, and it was the best picture. I mean, it's the best picture in terms of pose, emotion-wise, of course, was Stephen. I was so happy with how that turned out. That was so much better than I expected. Thank you to the lady in front of me as well for suggesting doing that. I wouldn't have thought of that. And it's turned out amazing. And then there was only one more person then that I met with who we got a queue ticket for really early in the day. And this is somebody that I was a little bit nervous to meeting because they are quite a big deal. We got 2 virtual queue tickets because I wanted Kevin to stand with me. You need to get 2 tickets, but then you get to the autograph desk and you decide what autographs you want. I mean, I could buy 6 if I wanted to. That's how it works. You just got these tickets to enter the queue at all. And we were 401 and 402, I think. And then the queue was sort of moving forward, and then we were standing there. We were just standing still for, I don't know, maybe half an hour. And we realised that he wasn't there. He must have been on lunch or in a photo shoot. But then he came back, and it was like all that sort of impatience goes away. And even though there were loads of people in the queue now because we'd been waiting, he was talking to people really nicely and making the effort. It wasn't rushing. Sorry, and it was David Morrissey, the governor. And I've heard from everybody that he was absolutely lovely, and I was able to see it for myself, which I'm really happy with. He was absolutely lovely. And I told him, like, he's like the last person I'm seeing for the day before I go home. I should have clarified I meant not last as in last choice, because he's definitely not my last choice. He was in my top people. And yeah, he was like, so where is home? And how, like, he was just, I don't know what I'm saying. He was just lovely, and I want you to know how lovely these people are. But there were other people. There are people you want to meet, and you might not get a chance to, or you might not be able to afford it or something. But you can sort of, you're enjoying the atmosphere and you'll be able to see them with your eyes, and that feels like something as well. Pamela Anderson, right? We went and sat down somewhere. I think he went to the toilet and I was waiting for him and I was just having a chill, and I realised like Pamela Anderson was like meters away from me, and it was like, what? I didn't see anybody with a stack. I didn't see, John Cleese had his own area and there was a queue along a wall, so I didn't get to see him. I didn't even see Benedict Cumberbatch's area, let alone him. Natalie Dormer, I didn't see her, but I don't think we spent much time around that area. I would have liked to meet her, but she was one of the big ones, one of the big expensive ones. We had to go to the hotel to pick up our bags. So we went and we picked them up, and I checked on my phone train and stuff. I thought, oh, let's wait a little while because the train's going to be packed right now. It was packed anyway. Now, this was my first proper Comic-Con, so there were a lot of things that I was able to plan ahead for. There were some things that I didn't expect, so things that I think you should bring if you're going to film, I would definitely recommend one of these tripods because it means you get that extra height when you're trying to film something. I would also recommend a little purse instead of the proper one, and just have your main things in it. One thing you should also bring is plenty of 5s, because there are some autographs that are like £15 or £35, and you want to make sure that there are plenty of 5s around. The cash machines run out of money. When we were going home, I noticed one at the train station said like out of service because there was no money left in it. So plan that sort of thing ahead. It's better to bring a little bit too much than not enough. Make sure you print out any tickets you buy just in case technology fails. Again, the tickets might not look the same in future ones, but I'll show you anyway. This is what was printed out. This is my Saturday entry ticket. This is what they scan. And if you have a photo shoot, it'll look the same, but it'll say your batch number down at the bottom, or it might not. If it doesn't, it's likely it's a small one and everybody just goes. One thing I had unexpected problems with was battery on my camera. This camera, I had it fully charged, and it turned out it only had just under 2 hours of battery, and I thought I was going to be able to leave it on and sort of just record and then edit it afterwards, cut it so that it looks good, and I'm not doing that. But I couldn't. I had to really preserve it, and we ran out of battery on the first day, so we couldn't get as much as we wanted. We wanted to get a lot more cosplay and other people, but we preserved it much better on the Saturday because we knew that there were problems, so we did that, captured a shot, turned it off and put it away. I actually thought my iPhone was going to run out immediately with like internet and apps, whatever. Because this is relatively new, so I don't really know how long it lasts. I actually brought 3 of these with me, and I didn't need to use any of them, so that's strange. My battery only went down to about 70% the whole day, and we were taking pictures. Take some tissues just in case you cry or you get a runny nose. If you are travelling there, like train, I would suggest bringing an MP3 player and some headphones. I don't think I showed you my bag. This is the rucksack I brought. I bought it on Amazon, and it's got the pockets for drinks, which is good. This bottle of water's slightly bigger than average. I think I said it earlier, but whatever. And I did drink a lot of it. It's important you keep drinking. If you don't think you need to, at least take sips because your throat will be hurting. Because it's so busy in there, you're not talking at a normal level like this. You're projecting your voice because your mates can't hear you over everything else. I just brought a comb instead of a proper hairbrush so that it saves space. Deodorant. Deodorant is so important, honestly. Make sure you wash. I also brought some hand wipes as well. I think... yeah, for face, body and whatever. I brought these just in case I started to smell, which I didn't. It was alright. So I could wash, and then put deodorant on in the toilet. The toilet situation, I only used one of them up where the comic stuff is, and it wasn't like I expected. I thought it was going to be proper toilets. It was it's one disabled toilet. Mints. I have the Vicks inhaler thing so that if there's a smell I can't stand, I'm smelling this instead. Chewing gum. Another thing that I would probably change if I did it again, when I picked up the Diamond Pass on the Friday morning, they gave me the post. They said to me, do you want the poster now or do you want it like later? I was like, I'll take it now. But it's sort of big and you're carrying it around all day. And if you're not getting it signed, I would suggest getting it later. The only thing there is like with, I think it was Benedict Cumberbatch, ran out of the posters. So if you desperately want one, get it. It just means you have to carry it around all day. If you don't really mind, then don't and get it later. Another thing that happened is we booked entry tickets for the Walker Stalker Convention 2018. We booked it. I was lying in bed and I was like, right, now that we know what the venue looks like, we know the Oka Hotel if we want to use this one. Should we go? And he was like, He's not a Walking Dead fan. He would pretty much be coming with me. But I said, it's not just Walking Dead. There are usually some other people that are there too. But it's the experience, isn't it? Even if you're not a major fan of something, it's a lovely atmosphere. People will be dressing up. So we booked tickets. And we're going, probably, unless we're dead. I did so much preparation. There were lots of things I ended up not using. I had business cards in here that I was planning on giving to anybody that I had a conversation with, but I didn't give any to anybody. Just like other people that I was chatting with. Oh, by the way, I'm vlogging if you want to see this, but I didn't have the courage to actually give any to anybody. I would also suggest bringing your own food and drink. I brought a bottle of water, so that didn't really matter. But there was one point when we wanted a cold drink later on, so we went and got a Diet Coke. Can of Coke was £2. So unless you're loaded, that's probably quite a bit for you. It was for us, but we were desperate. And then afterwards I realised it wasn't even fucking cold. You can also, like I said, go out to Tesco, but it was really difficult to find where the exit is. I say really difficult, it's not that difficult, but just annoying when you walk to one exit and they say you're not allowed out this one. I don't collect Funkos, I only get ones that are really important to me. The most important one's obviously the sunflower. That's like a rare one. But it's important to me because she's one of my favourite things in the universe. Now I'm sure as soon as I turn off this recording I'm going to think of really important things to say. But that's all I can think of for now. Oh! Another thing I did, and that you should probably do, you need to be checking the schedule for photo shoots. I ended up printing out the Excel spreadsheet. But not only was it useful for our photo shoots, but when we were wondering why there's such a big queue somewhere, we looked and it's like, oh, in group C, in photo shoot section C, there's this person. No wonder there's so many people standing around here. So it's helpful for that. But you need to print it at the last minute because the schedules change so much because celebrities say, oh, they drop out and stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful or at least entertaining. I will see you at Walk or Stalk 2018 at the London Olympia in March.